open session public meetings are subject to being recorded. Your image and voice will be recorded. We're calling the meeting to order at 6 p.m. Do we have meeting minutes?
Yes, yep.
Okay. So those are from the last meeting, I'm assuming?
Yes.
Okay. So, motion to approve the meeting minutes from last meeting?
I'll make a motion.
Second?
Second?
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Hi, Emily.
Hi, Emily.
This is Emily from CMRPC. We'll let you get set up and do a couple things and just let me know when you're ready and we'll skip to you.
Awesome.
Aspen Regional Consortium, anything to report?
They sent an annual report, which is a summary of their meeting here with us and meetings with everyone, nothing really. The fall forum is set for November 14th, I think. I can send that around to get Devon's in the morning. Again, other than that, no.
Okay. We can find out at the next meeting how many people would like to attend that, and I can post that if needed.
When I get the RSVP thing, I'll send it around too.
CPA update?
We got a vote on supporting our
MOU?
no,
No?
on the transfer of the property
Okay.
from the warrant article, that thing, for town meeting.
Okay.
4-0 with one abstention.
Okay. So we got CPA
So
support?
we have CPA support for this.
Okay. So we have CPA support, we have Council on Aging support, we have Select Board support. Yes? Planning, probably, we need to go visit them again.
Planning and finance and historic is unlikely.
Finance is gonna start meeting because of the
Because of the meeting.
meeting, so we'll need to get on that.
And historic, I believe, did not take a vote. They are quite split, is my understanding.
Okay.
So,
Okay. Anything else from CPA?
we're on there. Maureen asked about like when we should be on the annual calendar, and we sort of picked June randomly, just as a time for us to talk. But there's nothing more. It was just me doing a slightly more formal report
Okay.
to that. But there's nothing.
So June?
Of next year, yes.
Okay.
And like for the annual timeline, Maureen is all about calendars and schedules.
No,
and
that's
she's great.
fine. I just
So, yeah, that's-
it's nice to not have something like coming up now.
Last June, we're late. No, we're totally good. I think that's what there is from that.
Okay. Emily, are you all set?
Yeah.
Okay. This is Emily Klobitz from CMRPC. She is here to talk to us about the down payment assistant project she is working on for us.
Yay. I'm so excited to be here. So I have some handouts. You can follow along.
Thank you.
So I've started this project by basically looking at a lot of examples that are out there for first-time homebuyer down payment assistance programs. My plan for tonight is to kind of just go through a bunch of examples, see what you like, what you dislike about these examples, and then that'll kind of help me, guide me for digging more into these programs and and elements of it. So I've started with kind of just the design of the program. So how do we define a first-time homebuyer? What income qualifications and asset thresholds there should be for such a program? Any additional criteria? Any eligibility criteria for the actual properties that folks would be buying? If we want to move towards more of a loan program or a grant program, what amount of assistance that would provide, what kind of repayment options are available, and then also just touching on fair housing and CPA as well. So I'll start the second page just on the first-time homebuyer criteria. So everything that I found pretty much uses the HUD definition of what a first-time homebuyer is, and that's the things that are listed there. I didn't find really anything that kind kind of steered away from this. Really, every program that I looked at, which was at least like 10 or 12 programs I think I was able to find in Massachusetts, use this definition. So I figured it's pretty easy just to stick with this definition. But if there's something you want to add on to it, perhaps, I think the only maybe thing that could be an issue is like maybe if you're targeting like older like first-time home buyers, perhaps like 55 plus, could add that in as a definition or something. I saw some programs. I'll get into that in a bit too.
Are we planning on using first-time home buyer as a criteria for this?
Yeah, that's the whole program was designed around first-time homebuyers.
Okay. Like I said, there were going to be some
Yeah.
stupid questions tonight. Just
Yeah.
checking that we were committed to that, because there are plenty of people
Right.
who may or who may not be first-time home
Yeah.
buyers who still might need assistance, right?
Although
Didn't we-
the 3-year time period is kind of short enough that, because
Yeah,
It's
if
been
like
a
you
long
were
time since I've looked at
married
these docs.
and you know, or you were the primary kind of homemaker but didn't have work.
stupid
Yeah.
stuff.
And you got divorced.
Can,
Things like
right. Can you explain the displaced homemakers versus the single parent?
maybe. Let's see. A displaced homemaker. Oh, I wrote the definition down somewhere. I don't think I
I'm
wrote
guessing
it,
that
but-
the difference is probably that it is a spouse and doesn't necessarily have to have, it's a divorce that doesn't necessarily have to have kids.
Yeah, there is a definition of it that I can look up for next time.
I think that's the only difference from the 40B definition, at least last time I looked at the 40B definition, right?
I don't remember the single parent stuff on the 40B.
I just remember the displaced homemaker.
No, we did have displaced
Which we
homemaker,
called.
but I don't remember the single parent. I don't
mind it.
I don't mind it. It doesn't, I don't,
Yeah.
I also don't care if we didn't use first home buyer either.
I think the idea behind first-time home buyer is that if you've already owned a home, it is much easier to get that second home. I think that's probably the.
Right, with the 3-year thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, nothing we have to decide on tonight, but
No.
just
Yeah. But I
food
know
for
that, I
thought.
mean, that we have been using the term first-time home buyer criteria since we floated the program, so that's not new. Not new.
I filed it under down payment assistance program, and those are the
Okay.
words that stuck for me.
Yeah, because I haven't found any that are like targeting, specific like minority groups or like
No.
women-owned.
Yeah.
I haven't really found any examples out there of that.
Because it's pretty much, this
Can't
is
do
this
it.
is what you do.
Yeah. All right. Any other questions on that slide? All right, go down to the income qualification and asset threshold. So this also pretty much aligns with like kind of any 40B regulations. Most use households earning up to 80% AMI, so that could cover low income, very low income. Some have done a option B there, a combination of households earning up to 80% AMI and households earning between 80 and 100% AMI. I think the definition kind of under CPA, for this to like qualify as like community housing under their definition, it can't exceed 100% AMI for households that would get any like funding from CPA. So there, I think like Boston has a program where they go up to like 135% AMI, so like those like kind of middle income households, but I wouldn't recommend it for this if we're gonna be using CPA funds.
My only question on that is that, our hardship here is the gap for any of these programs. So what is that number? What are they going to qualify for at what level? They might need to be using the 100% level to qualify for a home of any price in our area.
Yeah. We need those
So
numbers
I
to
would
work.
kind of like to know what those numbers actually are, because I'm not that fast with numbers, especially today. But like, what is it? Like, so how do we gauge that? So if you take a medium price home or a starter home in Berlin and do that math.
Right.
What is that number? What do we need to be using? I think that would help. You know,
Yeah, and my
support
guess is,
whatever we use.
given the infrequency with which I think this program is going to be used, that we would want to open it up
Be-
as far as we could.
Yeah.
Does
Mhm.
that
Yeah.
make
Yeah.
sense?
I agree with that.
Yes. So I'm leaning more towards 100%.
100%.
I don't know if we need to go further. I know some
Yeah.
places do, but I don't.
Well,
I
yeah,
don't know how
if we can't use CPA funds, then this is how we're funding it, then we kind of have
Okay,
a.
so
Well, I mean,
I-
we do have the other money. The
We have the
question
other
would be,
money.
would we want to? Right. I mean, that's
Yeah. Certainly,
a
I think
different
we'd
conversation.
start.
start.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I guess.
But definitely
But I'm
the
still-
what are those actual numbers?
Uh-huh.
And with an AMI of 80%, what does what kind of mortgage can you qualify for? Can you qualify for enough to
Correct.
even be in this market at all?
Even at 0%.
Right.
I don't
Okay.
know. I haven't done that
Exactly.
math.
Our,
I guess
you know,
I could
our,
very
our
tight.
average
It was
home
very
price is
tight.
$707,000.
That's
Exactly.
my point.
So
Yes. 'cause it
Right.
was-
I about had a heart attack when I saw that when we were doing
Yeah.
the tax rate right now.
So
like, that
it's
is
that
insane.
gap that we can't
yeah.
Yeah.
get past. So this program may never have a recipient if we can't figure out how to make it qualify.
It's the same. It's the 40B problem,
It's
right?
the
The
same
restrictions
problem.
are
Very-
so
So I
tight.
think
Very
we have
narrow,
to
yeah.
open it up.
So 40B is up to 80. So if
Yeah.
we add on up to 100, then that opens it up quite a bit.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't jot down like home prices and things like that, but the next couple slides I was showing, so the 80% IMI, kind of what that would look like for Berlin at the moment. So this is the area median, so it's like Berlin, Blackstone, Hopedale, Menden, a few other towns. So for a single household, that householder couldn't earn more than $72,950 as of 2025.
For one person, right?
Yeah,
And
that's
if they
for a
have a
single
few
person.
kids, then it's
Yeah, then it goes
A
up to
little
like
better.
100,000. Yep. Mhm.
Better.
So just to give you a sense of kind of what the cutoff would be, and then obviously if it's 100% AMI, that's going to be higher too.
Mhm.
Just the next slide. I just wanted to show an average or median income for households is in the blue bar, and then median income for families is in the orange bar. And then I just chose the state, the county, and the surrounding towns just to compare.
Emily, would we have to go with like HUD's numbers, or could we go with MHP numbers? Because there's different ways they calculate, right? So like MHP has their 80% is, and their 100, like their income limits are higher because they calculate different.
For their like programs that they offer.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have
so
different.
like, would we have to go with HUD? Could we do
No,
MHP?
I don't think you're bound to that. So a lot of
Yeah.
the programs that I looked into use CDBG funds.
Okay.
So that's why they're using like HUD definitions, and they
Okay.
have to kind of follow these pretty strict regulations. But if
Yeah.
you're not using federal funds, you're using locally sourced funds. So I think it opens it up to be a little bit more flexible and use whatever definitions.
Right.
And
As long
really-
as we fall under CPA, we
Yeah,
hit
yeah,
the
yeah.
CPA requirements.
Right.
exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. I could look up the MHP.
Yeah, because I'm looking at them now. So like MHP for like a one-person household is 88,300 versus the 72, and 100% AMI for one person is 110,000. So it just gives us, I don't know if we can define our income limits if we say they're MH, like, I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know what CPA says about definition of affordable. Do you know that?
Are these net or gross numbers on income?
On the chart, it's the most recent ACS, American Community Survey estimates that I have. Sorry, what was the question?
Net, or when we talk about a median family,
Okay.
it is the income, is that net or gross?
I think it's always gross.
I think it's gross.
Yes, always.
Okay.
yeah.
Always, is it always gross? Okay,
Always
that was.
gross. I
okay.
believe, like, as far as I know, because they wouldn't be like, take any deductions of any kind. I don't think.
Scary that 72,000 is low income.
HUD income limits are based on gross income. Wow, you can't live in Berlin on that amount of money. You can't buy anything.
Well, you must be able to, because otherwise that wouldn't be our.
No. Well, I mean,
Median.
they haven't bought a house like this
Oh, yeah.
year, right? Or really in the past
Well,
5
we have
years.
we have apartments and rentals too.
Right,
so-
rent exactly. That's where our.
Which aren't
Which aren't
much
much
than a
cheaper.
mortgage.
No.
Right.
But you don't have to have your 20% yet to get into one of those.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
Moving forward.
Not to, just so we don't go too far, the assets
Oh, yeah, yeah,
on
yeah.
income qualification,
Definitely A. I mean, and
Yeah.
more if we can make that happen.
Sure.
Um,
Yeah, so
Well, I
they're
don't know.
using, liquid assets definition, so anything that can just be turned into cash.
And I think the excluded assets is what makes our thing relevant. So I think
Yes.
you have to have that piece.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm wondering if are those assets options parallel with 40B right now?
So-
What's that, the 75,000? And
Yeah,
40B, like, for home ownership?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, if that's what they are,
It-
okay.
It was a little less 10 or 7
Exactly. I
years
just
ago,
didn't
but-
know. Yeah.
And I assume that's sort of updated yearly, or how often is that updated? How often do you need to revisit that?
Good question.
Oh, like, does someone need to get reviewed? You
Well,
mean? Or
like
these
if
numbers
we set these as our assets, are those
current?
like when are they updated?
When right? Should we tag it to HUD, like the 40B program,
Mm.
right? And parallel with those numbers, as opposed to writing it with numbers. Is that what you're
Yes,
saying?
yes, that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Because otherwise you have to,
It's updated.
yeah.
Doesn't feel like it's updated all that much.
No, I'm just like, wow.
Well, I mean, it should be because, yeah.
I believe it was,
Logically, it should be.
I believe 17 years ago it was 70,000.
Okay. Okay.
And then what do you think about having like an age difference too? You can see in option A, they have a much higher amount for those who are.
Yeah, I think that's
Besides, that's
totally.
good. Cool.
I'm totally in favor of that.
Yeah. Because a lot of times that's a 401k or something you can't necessarily touch.
Package kind of thing.
That makes sense.
There's a lot of people, I know this because there's a lot of people who don't qualify for the senior assistance that we have for tax relief because they have those nest eggs. But those nest eggs, you can't touch them because
Right.
that's what's allowing you to maintain your income, your fixed income.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Interesting. Okay.
that's why
That
probably.
makes sense. Cool.
Or one reason why. There are probably multiple reasons. That's one.
All right. Now moving forward to, let's see. I had a list of other qualifications. It was like slide 7. And the first one I think is pretty obvious. The home buyer has to purchase a property that is in Berlin's boundaries. It also has to be their principal residence. That was pretty across the board. You can't just buy it and then rent it out and use it as income. The home buyer has to be approved for a mortgage with a lender. Home buyer has to have a minimum credit score. I saw this on some Not all of them had this. These were more the CDBG ones, I think, that I saw. And same with the maximum housing to income ratio and total debt to income ratio. So I don't know if those are qualifications you want to think about including as well.
I mean,
I don't know
Right.
enough about this to have an opinion.
It depends, who will be reviewing the application.
The debt to income ratio, I think, is kind of important, but the credit score, I think, is less important.
Well, I'm wondering if they must be approved for a mortgage.
Yeah.
Wouldn't these
Somebody
be things
else,
that
right,
would
would
be
already
reviewed
know.
when
The lender's
when
gonna
the
vet
lender?
that.
So
Yeah.
I don't know if we
Yeah.
want to get
I
into
don't think
that
we need to.
sort of stuff. I think there's a
Micromanage
bank
that.
that does that.
Yeah, that makes sense. Oh, the next one was interesting. I'll talk a little bit about it more, but the homebuyer has, this could be either like a qualification, like you have to complete an approved homebuyer training course, either offered by like HUD or MHP or some other program, and provide certification of completion. There was one program that said if they do this course, then they get a little bit of extra money too. So it could either be kind of an incentive, or it could just be like a flat qualification for even just getting into the program at first.
And that could run the same, that could run along with like the soft second or other programs if they're getting other
Right.
assistance.
Mhm.
I don't mind that piece as long as like they don't have to go through different programs. Like
Yeah.
one program covers it all.
Yeah, I think that's reasonable. I think it's a good thing.
Yeah.
Especially if it's mostly first time home
Home
buyers.
buyers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because
Can't hurt.
homes are needy.
And
Yeah,
just
think.
and everything that you have to
And
do
everything
to
you
buy
have to
a
do,
house.
yeah, is
Yeah.
And then the contribution again, 3% down payment, 1%. I mean, it depends on the value of the house, right? And then
yeah.
does that count within the assets that they have, or?
How common is that sort of criteria? Because my feeling is
I only
kind
saw
of
that a few times, so.
my feeling is we don't want to complicate it like
Yeah,
that.
we don't
but-
wanna have
They have to
another-
prove to the bank they
Bank.
have the money from somewhere.
Right.
The bank's gonna want them to have a
A
certain
very-
level of something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know that
So
we need to.
once again, maybe we leave that
I
sort of
agree.
thing to the bank.
But that one, so like, the bank will determine if they do, but with this,
This would potentially be part of.
the program, so like, they have to put down like, they would be like, here's my mortgage, and then they would have to put down something in conjunction with the down payment assistance program, or are we saying in our program where that's not needed?
I think when you buy a house have to show that you have at least some of your, in order to get the mortgage typically, don't you have to show that you have to have some of your own money, involved? Is that?
I think so, but with our program, are we requiring that, like for a down payment assistance program?
I think that's part of the
Yeah.
point of our program is to
Is
help
to-
the people
Right.
that
Yeah.
I don't.
Can't make that.
can't
Yeah.
make that
Yeah.
gap.
Right.
Yeah.
So
That's something we would not want to include.
I think
No.
we should delete it
Okay.
entirely.
Okay.
Yeah. And just let the bank, because the bank's gonna say,
The
okay.
bank's gonna say they're sourcing from here and here and here.
Mm.
Okay.
And if it's like a 40B, then I know there are pretty strict requirements about where you're sourcing money from. But even when you're buying a house normally, you have to source from certain places or you don't get the loan.
Right.
Yeah, I'm comfortable leaving that out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Completely.
Okay.
Especially if it's not something that's you found was typical.
Yeah. Alright, so moving forward to eligible properties. For For this one, some programs specified like what type of property it could be. So it could be single family home or condominiums. Some also, for example, like Boston or like I think Salem or something, where they have more like smaller scale multifamilies, also included those. But I know Berlin's housing stock is not as diverse.
It's
So-
not, but also, I don't
Is
think
it?
CPA funds can go towards investment. Am I wrong about that? Something, somewhere, I don't know.
There are rules, if it's owner occupied and it's under 4 units, the rules are different. If it's more than 4 units, then there are definitely restrictions on that,
For CPA money
for all types of,
or mortgages
Funding.
in general?
I don't know that, I don't know, that's a great question. I don't have
I
that in
don't.
my
Emily,
head.
can you
think.
verify? I think we just want anything that CPA would cover.
Okay,
Yeah.
that makes sense. Yeah.
Yes? Is that-
Correct, and there's not, the affordable as written in the CPA is not affordable with a capital A, 40B affordable is affordable with a small a. So I don't think we
You
need,
just
like
said
number
it's-
2.
I don't understand.
So like when we talk about, there's a 4-way, we talk about affordable housing,
Right.
and typically often in Massachusetts, that's kind of conflated with 40B,
Yeah.
affordable housing, versus
Yeah.
affordable housing as in the general concept of something people can afford.
Okay, that was,
That's the small, capital A versus small
Yeah,
a. So right, assuming that is the case and the CPA monies do not restrict us, then I don't think we don't wanna restrict it to properties that are already 40B.
That are already.
but we don't exclude those either.
Right.
But you may want.
I mean, like for a multifamily, I mean, not like there's gonna be many multifamilies in town, but that seems like it'd be kind of controversial in terms of like if you have a renter, you know, like then what are they charging and,
Mhm.
you know, that seems a little bit challenging. Like it would make sense if there was like, say, a duplex and they were individual properties
Mhm.
and you were buying one condo of the 2. But would that be considered a single family and / condo?
It would
Yeah.
count as a condo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, I think once you start to get into investment,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
hard to justify I mean,
Yeah. Just gets tricky. Like,
I think people might frown on it.
yeah.
Do we have any in town? I mean, obviously we don't need to write for what we currently have. That's more of just an
Yeah.
informational question.
Any,
Any
Multi-
2 to
We have-
like
I
that
have
are
one.
We have
that are
multifamilies.
that
yeah.
are that are
it's the
aren't
only way I can
condo.
live in Berlin.
Oh, is it right?
is to have a
Right.
double.
Right.
Um,
And also, do ADUs? Those aren't multifamily. That would be okay.
But that
think
gets
they are
but they don't get
multifamily.
like they're not sold separately,
Okay.
right?
They're
That
they're
comes with the whole the property as a whole.
Yeah, so that we don't have any of those either, do we?
Not
A-
well,
ADUs, yeah.
They could be in like people's
And you
basements
will.
and stuff.
Yeah, we're
Because
gonna
of the-
see more of those going forward.
But I don't
Some, but we have pretty hefty septic requirements that are going to prohibit a lot of that. So I don't know.
But in any case, okay. So are we saying not? I mean, we can
well,
hold.
You can stick to single family home and condominium is pretty straightforward, right?
Yeah,
And yeah, certainly makes it simple.
Yeah.
and we don't have much of the other anyway, so they exist. But
Yeah.
So scratch that. Not number 2, and we. Domicile and principal. I mean, that's the same as before.
Yeah.
Adequate sewage. I think that's a HUD requirement. Yeah, housing quality
Well, yeah.
standards.
I don't think you can,
We can't-
here,
you
you
can't
can't, you have to do
buy-
Title V, we have no
yeah, you
public
can't
sewer.
transfer without
Without a Title V.
Title
so
V.
Oh,
So
okay.
that's
Yeah,
kinda
so that's not even a,
moot.
Right.
not something we need to write.
number 6 is the only kind of maybe controversial one.
Well,
That's like,
you
you're
can't-
not gonna
you
get
can't- You're not
anything.
gonna get that,
Yeah.
so.
So I think we
I
could
don't-
Be a modest home.
Yeah.
How about
we-
5 though?
If we were
A lot
in
of our
Illinois-
homes are older.
I would take that one out.
I would take 5 out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
That's pretty hard to do.
yeah.
And then you get someone in there and then they are de-letting or something.
right, well, and the bank is actually gonna do the due diligence on that as well.
Yep.
So I don't think we need to be in that business.
Yep.
Not result in displacement of renter households? Well,
I don't want to get involved in that.
yeah.
No.
Yeah. And a flood zone and flood insurance is a bank thing again.
That's a bank thing.
So I think there's
That can go.
not much, there's actually nothing on that list.
Two
Other
requirements.
than, it has to be a single family home or condominium.
No,
is what we
number
can-
2 though?
Three.
What is that saying?
It's gotta have the deed rider as affordable.
Oh,
It has to be eligible for inclusion. So this is an interesting one.
Yeah.
So
What is that
if-
saying?
It's
I don't-
Already
basically
listed.
saying that you could only buy a 40B,
right.
Yeah.
So we should remove
which
that.
doesn't really. I
Well,
also
then it
think
says
that-
must neither already be listed.
Right. It
What?
kind of talks
Um,
itself out of it.
I think I got this one because there's one program that was really interesting where they give, they provide a lot of the down payment financing, but they say if the house is sold in the future, then it has to have a deed rider on it.
So they're attempting to grow
Oh,
their
their
Yeah.
40B,
SHI.
See, I like
Exactly.
that
Yeah.
idea, but
but not,
But I'm not sure for this
yeah.
program.
that doesn't make any sense because
Yeah.
they're not, if they can't buy it at the 40B price,
Right.
then we certainly can't. We certainly don't want them to
Yeah.
have to give
They're
up
not gonna, yeah.
$450,000 or whatever the difference between market is.
Yeah. You also have no idea when they're going to sell it too, so you don't know when that unit's going to come on to your SHI. So.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, I thought that was an interesting one.
And it's not like, I mean, it's not much of an incentive to go down that road.
No.
Why would you even get in bed with us with that sort of requirement?
No.
Right.
So yeah. Okay.
All right, forgivable loan option.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah, now we get into kind of the structure of it. So I provide a few examples for each of these. So this one's forgivable loan. So the town or the trust would provide some type of financing, funding, but then after a certain amount of time, it could be forgiven. So the first one was from Somerville. So at the end of 5 years, when the homeowner has lived there as their primary residence for 5 years, it's all forgiven.
Did they stagger it?
What's that?
Did they stagger it over the 5 years? So, or
Um,
was it just all or nothing?
I think it was just all or nothing. I have to dig a little
Okay.
deeper on that one. On the next one, they do like
Oh, that's
like
the
every
staggered. Okay.
year you don't have to pay back 20%. Is that the one? Or that's the third one I gave. Yes, the third one. Each year on the anniversary date, 20% of the original amount is forgiven.
So I think what was Bread and Roses was
It was
10 years.
10 years. I
And
do like
like-
the 5 years, but that one was 10.
I'm not arguing, but I liked, in my mind, I'm thinking longer, but what do you like about the 5 years?
What I like about the 5 years is the fact that sometimes people don't choose to move. Sometimes their job makes them move.
moving happens
Sometimes
to you, particularly a
yeah,
younger
moving,
family.
Yeah, moving happens, and I don't want to penalize people necessarily for.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, in some jobs you have to move pretty frequently. I mean, we just lost somebody who I was really excited to meet who just had to move because her family was in the military.
Mm-hmm.
So there are a lot of things that can cause you have to move, whether you want to or not. And I don't like the idea of insisting that somebody has to stay for 10 when they may not have that option.
Mm-hmm.
I think 5 is more
So
reasonable,
all
but-
or none then. prorate
Well,
or
I like-
I
I
don't-
like the
I
prorated.
I have no problem with the like a payback within that, like a staggered payback, like if you move within 3.
Mhm.
I like the 5 number better than the 10.
I agree with that.
So, what
that'd
is
be
the difference
example 2.
between 2 and 3? Okay, person or the time sale for
It seems like the second one, there's some that's forgiven.
They might be the same.
Are they the same?
They might be, yeah.
Okay.
I think I was more just going for showing the different communities.
Okay.
Um,
So yeah,
Do they have the same thing if they refinance?
Yeah, 2 is kind
Yeah.
It's not nice.
of, I mean, what's, who cares if they refinance? What's
Right,
that got
just-
to do with anything? I think 2 is like talking in circles.
Okay.
I think 3 is very simple.
Yeah. 20% of the original DP balance forgiven, yep. And you're gonna receive the discharge of mortgage to be recorded.
Yeah, it's a set
That's-
amount each year, pretty clear.
Yep.
And at the end, it's just done.
Yep.
Unless you want to go with a grant option and not have them repay anything. I wasn't sure if.
Well, I mean,
I
if they
think-
pay 5 years, it's equivalent.
I
Yeah,
think
right.
I think it appeals more to have people who are
I
going to
think
integrate
there's
into the
some
community.
skin
I
in
think
the
it would be
game
hard a
on-
harder
on-
sell
Yeah,
to.
Good point.
rather than just the grant.
Yeah. Because the goal is, and the idea is to help our neighbors, whether they be new or old, you know.
Yeah, because where this isn't an affordable situation, it can be kind of like a way to get some down money and then move on, kind of a thing, if it's just a grant. You could kind of work it.
Yeah, I would argue that with how hard it is to get through the paperwork to buy a house.
Yeah.
Well,
I
you do
agree.
that, right? Yeah, but
Mhm.
it's like the last time we did that, Tim was like, "We're never moving again."
Deferred payment loan, is that more the same?
This, they would have to pay back everything
No, I
whenever the property is sold.
But this is for a larger amount? Is that what that is?
Not necessarily. The
Okay.
Salem one is only like 6,000. Yeah, just showing that there are examples out there of communities that want their money back.
I mean,
that
but-
might be under CDBG too, one of the requirements.
There's an argument for that, too. If they have to leave and they're no longer our neighbor, the money comes back in to help somebody else.
Well, I think you
get
have
back
that on
in
the
game.
20, right? Though
Yeah.
I don't think you need to have all of it come back. I think forgiving
Okay.
over years. I know that was what we talked about originally.
I mean, unless you're thinking, maybe they need to be here 3 years, right, before any sort of payback, any sort of forgiveness starts, or what are you,
Kind of.
a little longer period of time?
Yeah. But whatever.
So there's
You don't
an
have to-
example, like the
Yeah.
the second one and this third one is that there's forgiveness, like there's 20% forgiven, so they don't have to pay back. So really, they're only paying back a portion of the loan, not the whole loan.
If they move before 5 years.
If they move before 5 years, okay.
Yeah.
So,
if they
like-
move in the first year, they pay 20% less
Yeah,
than
okay.
they got,
Okay,
and so on.
okay. That makes sense, alright.
Hmm.
we don't have to decide this for sure
Right.
tonight, right? So think about it,
Mhm.
think about what you all like, and we can vote on it too. People can make their case and vote on it at
Do
the
we
next
have
meeting.
any data on how long people live in town?
I'm not sure.
Average.
Another reason that I'm pushing for the 5 is that Metro West also thought 10 was crazy long.
Also, what creates affordable housing, I think there, with the seminar we went to, is shifting of people in a community.
People moving
So
around, right, so not
So this
incentivizing people to stay.
It doesn't promote it, but it doesn't preclude it necessarily.
Yeah.
It might help with that shift. If that's true.
Put
It seems true.
Mm.
that for an agenda item next time. The loan options.
I found that I had different time periods for the different.
Yeah, slide 11 was, I think we already talked about this, as having a home buyer course be part of the requirement, but just showing that could add something as kind of, they would get extra funding if they,
Nah, let's just make them do it.
Mhm.
Chances are they're gonna have to do it anyway
doesn't-
for
yeah.
somebody else,
And
so.
it doesn't hurt.
Doesn't hurt.
Right?
no, yeah, exactly, cool. And then, yeah, there were just a couple examples of like the grant options. I think we're more comfortable with having the loan. The second example is the one that I talked about where it, what is this, Easton? They're offering grants up to 95,000, which is a lot, but then when the homes, are sold, they have to be
They have to be
deed
deed restricted, so that's,
Yeah,
right,
so
that's the
a-
trade-off. Yeah.
I mean,
Example.
is that something we might have to get to fill the gap?
I don't think we're ever going to be making loans that large.
Yeah, that's
Not
that's a
many.
big loan.
Yeah.
But I mean,
And what's interesting, right, 'cause there's a 35% of home sale price. It's $95,000 in Easton,
Mm.
right?
well, I mean, those you can change around, but
Sure,
the principle.
sure. But that's I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we can always change it if we.
I don't know.
It'll be
I mean,
interesting.
It's
I
just
mean,
something I didn't
we
think
put it
of.
out. Yeah.
I mean, maybe something we revisit if this loan program sits and no one uses it for 5 years, and then we have this abundance of money.
Or fall back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Because I still worry about what,
Right.
you know, how to fill that gap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a
I
big
agree.
one.
Yeah.
What do we think about a maximum award amount?
Definitely. I think there should be a max. Probably.
Yeah, I wasn't sure how much is in the trust or anticipate being in the trust, so I
Right.
put a bunch of just different options.
Well, right now we have, don't we have from CPA, we have 200 and,
Right, and we have a year, and I mean, we have, and that money will keep coming in. So,
yeah.
you know, if, I mean, we could fund $50,000 a year for a while, for instance.
Mm-hmm. So
I
what
think-
percentage of that of like?
I think I'd rather help more people if possible than.
If we get, I mean,
If
it'll be
we
interesting
get-
to see, right?
yeah.
If we, if
No,
I
we-
mean, my, yeah.
Me too, but is that going to exclude everyone because you still have the gap?
I mean, if it's, I mean, even the first one, 10% of the purchase price, $30,000 is a pretty hefty amount, so. What are folks' thoughts?
Well, 10% of 700 is
Yeah,
much more than 30.
Much more than
so
30,
Right.
yeah.
Exactly.
It,
Let's just
it
do
doesn't
those
really
numbers.
work in our examples, but
A max amount of 3% or a max amount of like of the purchase price? Do we base it off of purchase price?
I know that I appreciated the down payment.
I
as it
I feel like
stands.
if you can buy a $700,000 home, you're probably not gonna
Gonna
be
be talking to
coming
us.
for this.
Yeah.
Just gonna throw that out there.
Whoa.
Because
Well,
if you can get a
What's the
mortgage for
starter home
700,000,
cost in Berlin? I mean, that's what I'm trying to get to, is what are
my
we
guess
talking
is that's
about?
more in the 3 to 4. Yes.
I don't know
I
if
would
there's
say
anything
Anything 3 to
here
4
for
now?
3 to 4. I would
Yeah.
beg to say
Okay.
we're
Five
looking at
is
550, 600 and up, but I'm sure we can.
So what do you think is a reasonable number? What would you think is a reasonable number? You know the market way better than any of us, I think.
Because I'm not as versed on the qualifying factor part of it, as in terms of, you know, if somebody's only making this much, what are they gonna qualify for a mortgage? Like, what mortgage would they qualify for? That's where,
I guess with a
I start-
conventional mortgage, what do you need for a down payment usually? Is it 10? It's 10%?
Is it 10?
Depends.
Okay, I'll look that up. So like,
Yeah.
Isn't it
but Some,
20?
sometimes it's 20, I mean.
Well, you don't pay, if you can get to 20%, you don't pay
The insurance.
that.
That's
that-
it.
Thank you, I'm just like,
So,
there's a
So, I
word
mean,
for that.
it's not like a hard
Right.
rule.
a
either.
conventional loan requires a minimum down payment of 3%, though most conventional loans need 5% to 20% to avoid the PMI.
What's the cutoff for jumbo?
I have no idea for it.
Isn't it like 500?
Wow.
There is nothing currently listed on
There's
Zillow
no
in
in
Berlin
Berlin for-
for
We don't
less
have
than 735,000.
We have no
20%.
stock to begin with. Is part
We
of the
have-
problem.
Right.
We have one condo for 450, 459.
Really?
Yes.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you can buy a.
Everything else is like $1 million plus, or a parcel of land for
You buy land for
$400,000.
$500,000. Yeah, 400,000. Awesome.
Like,
So 20.
Well, North Andover isn't exactly a low rent district either, though.
Mm.
Some parts of it.
Nor is Newburyport.
What's interesting, but there are some parts there are still working class. At least there used to be, right? They are
Working-
becoming gentrified, which
working
makes it
class.
harder. Right. I mean, we're not poor people. We're working class.
But she also said that she didn't have that many takers on her program.
Exactly. What, a couple a year?
Yeah.
A couple
like
applications a year.
applications. and We don't
Application.
even know if they
Grant
resulted in anything.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, if there's any you want me to like call and just like get some more information about how successful their programs even are, I mean, this is just
What did
kind of-
North Andover say? Like 2 a year?
I think so.
applications.
Applications.
I
yeah.
think. I feel like she said though that normally if the application went in, they got.
If they managed to
Okay.
complete the application, because they sort of helped them and
But I
kind of
thought
vetted
it
them as they
averaged like
went.
2 in North Andover a year.
Yeah.
And I don't know whether that's the design of their program or the lack of housing stock or
Yeah.
we don't know why. And I don't know that she would have either, right? It would be interesting, I guess, to see. We're such a weird.
Tell us what you really think about us.
I mean,
just the
even if you take the
complete
low
lack
end,
of complete lack of housing stock.
It's like you can get a 3-bedroom house in Marlboro for $400,000. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Marlboro.
And I think they
it's,
exist here, but we don't have that big of a housing stock to begin with. So
yeah.
things don't come on the market, and when they do, they
Right.
tend to go very quickly. And that's been one of the problems here too. Is
well.
You
people are
you have to
paying
be
cash.
lurking.
Right.
Right.
They're
That's
doing
but
so.
lately there's been a stall. There's been a big stall about buying houses.
Yeah.
There's
So-
nothing saying that if things aren't working, we can't adjust them too.
Right.
So.
But yeah, step one, let's put the program out there, and then we can reevaluate it and adjust and see. I mean, maybe we hit it right with a slowing market and some properties coming on the market that are within a reasonable spitting distance, but it comes back to the question, is $30,000 as high as we want to go, or do we want to go closer to something to 50, to actually
I think
potentially?
we're going to have to.
Okay,
Not that
so
I like the
10%
idea.
up to,
30, 50? Well, 30
40?
is the highest.
Well, 95
95
95 is the
in
highest.
Houston.
I would say, I don't know, I feel like so like if we did 5% of 500,000, that'd be $25,000.
mm-hmm,
And then if they put in $25,000 of their assets, that'd be $50,000
Yeah.
and should get them
'Cause
out of PMI.
we're trying to just
Just bump
get
it
them
a little
over the
bit.
edge, right? We're not
right.
we're not trying to supplement their whole down payment.
Right,
Right.
exactly. I think 5% of the
I like
purchase
it.
price is fair.
So 5% up to,
25, 30?
I guess if you have no limit and it's based on what they can get, just be up to 5% of the purchase price. Because then what if it's like they're in a bidding war and then, or I don't know, like, if someone's buying a
well, I think there's going to be a natural limit to what house you can buy
exactly,
with even 100% AMI.
exactly,
Correct?
yeah, that's what I mean.
Mhm.
So
That you're naturally, you can't.
and an asset limit. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
Yeah.
yes, just 5%.
Of the
Up to,
Up to 5% of the
purchase price of the
purchase
home.
price.
with it, and do we want to cap it at?
Well, we were saying
You
not
can't-
necessarily, because it's going to naturally cap, because you can't get a loan for a house if you have an income of $72,000
And a limit on your assets.
and a limit on your assets.
Mhm.
I don't know that you could.
Well, we're talking about one person though, with that. If you have more people, it's higher limits. So,
Okay.
and that's where it gets
That's true.
better for people.
Well,
and
what
someone,
is? I mean, is there a maximum?
we don't have many
maximum
one
house
and two bedroom
price that
homes.
you would think that would fit with the program? Is there a cap on the house price that you think fits with the program? Because then we could run the numbers on that and set a limit that way. Is it 450? Is it 500,000? What is it?
Right.
That goes back to the problem of having to adjust the numbers
Every
every
year,
year. Exactly.
right.
So that maybe
Well, you could say median price, which could be based on the current somebody.
Very good with
Like, but not
all of us.
not
we're
a
just on
number
fire
per
tonight.
se, but
This
a-
is,
Well, like if it's
brain-
a 6%.
I mean, it's this is very random, right? How
Right.
people are doing this. It's very random.
Yes.
And for solving whoever's on the committee, solving a particular problem.
Westfield.
I'm not a mathematician.
Westfield, 3% of purchase price not to exceed $5,000. What house do you buy that is like
Right.
3% of it is
Mhm.
$5,000?
Yeah.
Right.
Just like-
If we're gonna put a
It's a
cap,
bunch of
let's at
nonsense.
least make
Make
it
it
make
reasonable
sense.
That's why I'm trying to figure out what these numbers
What is
are.
it?
Like, what are
Right.
we? I mean,
So like 10%.
I think for anybody to find anything here, it's going to be around 600.
Yeah.
And if there's something less, there's a million people. on
Okay,
it.
then doesn't that put you back to $30,000,
Probably.
right?
Yeah. It
does.
5% puts you at 30.
Yeah.
Yep. So. Yep.
Okay.
And 10% for like North Andover means they would stop at a $300,000 home. So
Yeah.
like
Well,
Okay.
they would give them the $30,000, but it would be at a,
Mhm.
Yeah,
if you
less
had
than.
it would be less than 10%.
yeah.
Fixer upper, I guess. really fixer-upper.
Yeah.
There are a few that have
Yeah.
come across our page.
Okay, so, does that sound reasonable, 5% up to $30,000?
Okay.
Yeah, and that gets you to a $600,000 home. Yep.
Okay.
And if it's a $400,000 home, it's 5% of that.
That.
So,
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, well, let's see how, like you said, if we need to adjust, we adjust.
What kind of flexibility do we have? If we have
Well,
an
I feel like-
applicant who is
I
hot
feel
on a
like
house,
you
who's
could
approved
have
for a mortgage,
You could
is
have
there like
Metro
an
West.
appeal?
Metro West come to us and say, maybe that's. Can we build an appeals program in?
Do we
Or
want
an
to do that?
exemption or exception
or yeah, like.
that might get really
That, I
sticky,
think,
Yeah,
I think.
maybe
I
not.
think-
No, actually, you
that
can't.
seems,
No.
yeah.
You can't.
that's-
Should it
that's-
be in the absence
it's
of
gotta
any
be
other
extreme-
application?
It's gotta be, I think, extremely cut and dried.
I would
and
agree.
very-
Legally, I think we get in
legally,
trouble
we
with,
don't wanna
'cause
be, I
then
mean,
they
whether or not
would-
we see the
yeah.
applications, right? Just the
We don't.
idea that somebody can wave a magic wand and give you more than we've laid out is,
But they could probably give us guidance, like if we review it every year, they could give us
How to
guidance if
tweak it.
somebody came to them, or if
After they've
People-
already.
well,
failed.
we can't help them, we
Yeah,
can't
well,
help
yeah.
them,
Yeah.
but
but
that
we could help the
situation
next
might come
person,
up again.
maybe.
I mean, let's get an applicant.
We're
Let's
gonna-
get any applicant.
We're
We'll get it,
gonna
right?
we're gonna do the best we can, and then we're gonna tweak
No,
as
we
needed.
want it to be perfect now, Lisa.
I'm done with that after Monday, okay? I do that meeting once a once a week or
Once every 2 weeks.
Yeah, already. So
Not gonna be this meeting?
Not this meeting.
Okay.
Yeah, that feels better,
Okay.
I think.
Yeah, it's good.
Alright. I like that it makes mathematical sense.
Yeah.
That makes my heart happy.
Did you want me to like reach out to any of these towns and just ask like?
It'd be
Have
interesting to
businesses
know
that-
how often or how successful
Yeah.
they are. I mean, they're very common, but I think they're very common because they're relatively easy to get up and running. So if there are ways that we could do better, or if there are some things that seem to be more successful than others, then I guess that would be interesting for you guys and us to know that.
So when they come to apply for this, they've got a mortgage already pre-qualified?
Yeah, I think
Is
that
the
that would be
idea?
part of the application for this is to prove that you've gotten
Yeah,
first mortgage. Yeah.
like a pre-qual for a mortgage, and then. But isn't this to help them qualify for the mortgage? So what comes first, the chicken or the egg?
It's the
Mortgage
mortgage.
first.
Mortgage, yeah, all the other stuff, the soft second and any other awards that I got was
Alright.
after I had a mortgage well paid, or at least
Yeah.
pre-qualified.
Like you've been pre-approved.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think on the repayment, I think we decided on that. Each year,
Yeah.
annually, 20% will be forgiven.
Yeah.
Um, Yeah, and then slide 15, just if you wanted to specify what the funds can go towards, is it just down payment, is it just closing costs, is it both? The Newburyport example just listed out all the things that can qualify for this, so if there's anything you wanted to like specify in the program, what it could be used towards.
I don't
No,
say down payment.
Huh?
Yeah, I mean, because
So
it's
just
the
down
same pot
payment.
of money, it's just being
Yeah, they're
moved
just-
around, and so
yeah,
we don't
let
need
them
to
figure out
we
where
don't
it
need
goes.
to, I mean,
Yeah.
I think we just say down payment,
Less
and then,
restrictions on it.
and then, you know,
They gotta
just like
figure out where to
sorting
get the
that out.
closing costs.
Oh, wait, but did the title fee come out
Yeah,
of
no.
this check? Like, no, no.
then the next few slides were just more about like CPA and stuff, which we kind of covered. So just how this falls under the term of support for community housing, kind of what that means. Some good info. Oh yeah, there. CPA statute defines affordable housing as community housing that serves households at or below 100% of the area median income. And
So I think even just having that 20% more is helping with that gap you're talking about.
And it does look like they use HUD numbers.
oh, for CPA does, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So we'd have to decide
Yeah, sounds good.
Got it.
That.
these income limits apply to all CPA housing initiatives.
And then, yeah, I had just done a little bit of research on like CPA and affordable housing trusts, and previously, like the statutes weren't aligned in how like funding could be used. So CPA funds said they could allow for support like activities, but then under the Massachusetts statute for affordable housing trust, they didn't define like support. So under that, but then in 2018 this changed. So just a little background if that comes up at all. I found that interesting. I had like a slight panic when I first like was reading an older document. I was like, oh my god, wait, these funds can't be used. And then I found more updated information. So now CPA and affordable housing trust statutes are in line. And then always
Yeah.
good to include things about fair housing.
Absolutely.
The program.
Yep.
Yeah, anti-discrimination, all that. I guess we can like spell out, you know, the state and federal like protected groups. And one of the programs I think this is a CDBG one, which, you know, it just has so much more kind of regulations that they need to spell out. So this one was saying that the program should provide accommodations for people with disabilities and non-English speakers, so could include something like that in this as well.
How much do we have to spell out? Can't we just go with number one and it's gonna meet all those laws, or do we have to actually delve into that? Just trying to keep it short.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yes, we will,
As short
but
as possible.
Yeah.
you know, it's
Yeah.
The same. Someone needs like,
Cool.
because, you know, we don't wanna be the one to miss something or
Yeah.
just have a guideline for it.
And then the last slide, I have links to the programs that I had talked about. So I can email this out to everyone or email it to you, forward to everyone.
However, if you have the emails, then
Yeah.
feel free to do a BCC though,
Okay, yes.
so that we don't violate open meeting law when somebody responds to you.
Yeah, any other thoughts on this? Any like questions you want me to like kind of dig into?
My only other thing is, I'm assuming the next step then is to figure out the piece that would go with Metro West. So
Yeah.
this would be the first part, and that would be the next part, probably, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah,
No,
was
this
great.
was really nice. This was
Yeah.
great.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thank you.
I love
I think
PowerPoints
it's
and everything.
and I think
Through.
it's really
Yeah.
good to have the discussions and be able to have the discussions
Yeah.
rather than like having something like the first time we tried to go with what North Andover had, and I think it's easier to do this than it was to try to paw through all of their stuff and figure out whether that was what we wanted or not.
Yeah.
Because we didn't have the other options in front of us. So this was nice.
yeah,
Yeah,
thank
that
you.
was nice.
Great. Yeah, I'm glad this is helpful. This is helpful for me too, just to get some feedback. I was getting a little overwhelmed with all the different options, so it's a lot out there.
Yeah.
Cool. So yeah, I can go back to the next meeting in October. October, and
Awesome.
yeah,
I will put you on the
I
agenda
can
for the
have
next
an
meeting.
update. Have
When is
materials.
our next meeting?
It is,
The 20 something.
yeah,
Yeah,
the
that's
22nd. I think you're gone.
I'm gone.
Aren't you?
I am
Yeah.
gone.
Oh, I thought you were leaving the day after.
No.
I would like to.
Turns
Alright.
out I'm gone,
See
and
ya.
I may
Bye.
not be here the 21st either.
I have a board meeting on the 21st, so
So
um,
we'll have it without you.
That's.
we have a forum. We're trying to. We brought the old Legion Hall here as an old schoolhouse that would make a beautiful Habitat for Humanity home.
Oh, right.
So we tried to get that at the last meeting. Unfortunately, for a property transfer, you need to have 66%, not 50%, and we got 59% of the vote. So we are bringing it back with some more information and some more support
Mm.
to the meeting in November.
Are you going
So
to be back
fingers
in time
crossed.
for that meeting?
That's the 21st.
November 17th.
Oh, November 17th. No, November 7th. Yes. I'm here for that meeting.
Okay.
Yeah, the 21st.
Yeah.
Frank is really pushing for us to stay in Boston
Okay.
because of the timing of the flight on Wednesday. I am pushing to be here. We'll see who wins.
Okay. We had to adjust a board meeting to go to the 21st, so I will be over in that room.
Awesome. Do we have a place? It is this room on the 21st.
'Cause we're gonna be in that
You guys are
room.
going to be in there, and Carolyn is committed
Mhm.
to be here.
Wait.
Yes,
Awesome.
I need a time for her though.
I'm confused.
Okay. All right. There is the public. Hey, people, we're bringing this back. Come and let's talk about what we want to do with the
Oh.
building, and
Okay.
Carolyn to talk about the
And answer questions.
answer
and-
questions about what a historic, affordable build looks like from
Okay.
their perspective.
And
And
then
that's
we scheduled the
October.
21st.
And that is the
21st.
21st of October.
What time?
That's my question, because I will let Carolyn know what time, and we can start getting flyers and that together.
Yeah, because that needs to happen.
I leave. I will be gone from October 1st to October 15th, and I will be in another country in another time zone.
Woo!
So a lot of this has got to fall elsewhere.
Okay. I would prefer it if it was at least 6:30 and not 6.
6:30. Does that work?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. And if you just tell me what needs to get done, at least, copies made, flyers, whatever.
We need a flyer. Do you have like Canva or something?
Yeah,
or?
we have
Okay.
Canva
You are on flyer.
flyer. So-
What else do you need from us?
Yep.
I think I'm good.
Okay. Yeah, the next meeting.
And then the next night is the regularly scheduled meeting is the 22nd, yes?
Yes.
Okay.
So the 22nd
Is
Yeah.
this meeting,
this
yes.
meeting. Okay.
Okay. At 6.
At 6.
At 6.
Yeah. That meeting, or somehow that sort of everything's happening that week.
I know.
That really kind of
Makes
Everything's
snuck up.
happening that week.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, right, we said we were gonna do that thing. Oops.
Should we wait? Should we push
I
it a week?
know. What, that's a lot to do.
I have a lot. I have. Okay.
Well, we can certainly, I mean, we don't have to have the housing trust. I would like to, since I have Carolyn on,
Right. I'm saying that our meeting.
we can push that
The
somewhere
29th?
else or skip. Well, I don't know if we want to skip because the next one is the.
The
You don't have to listen to us if you don't. If you're interested, you can stay.
no,
But if
I was
you're,
just
Yeah.
wanted to confirm.
Well, she wants
Oh,
to know
oh.
when the next meeting
Oh,
is.
right.
Right.
Right. I can send you an email about when we figure out when the next meeting is.
Honestly, I'm free whenever.
Okay. Just email Emily. Yeah.
Um, I mean, I'm not actually sure if it matters for me. But it is.
I mean, it's a lot, I think it's a lot to have both back to back, personally.
And my only concern is we would then not have, we probably want to have a meeting before
November 17th.
November
17th.
17th.
Mhm.
Yeah, to prepare for that meeting.
So maybe push the 22nd into
What's the
early November
But you're,
I'm gone the 1st through the 15th
of
You'll
October.
be-
of October
in a different meeting
on the 21st.
on the 21st, so you won't be in the
forum.
forum.
Nope.
And you won't be in the forum.
Unclear.
Unclear.
And the 21st, it's just, and it's,
They're gonna ask a lot of questions.
No, they won't. Well, it depends who turns
Thank
up.
you so much.
Right, let me- thank you so much.
Uh-huh.
They will.
There's a forum regarding the Legion Hall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which maybe we should call it 15 Lincoln Road.
Yeah, that's fine.
Ooh,
I think
ooh,
that's
I'm trying
name
to
change.
get more
Yeah.
towards
15 Lincoln Road.
a property
good plan.
than
Then
Something with
Then
residents.
something with a-
Mhm.
All right, 15, 1-5.
15.
Okay.
Okay.
So, I don't know.
Okay.
22nd, but I wouldn't mind having it maybe the 29th.
Okay, we can just change it. It's not even in the thing yet, so.
Yeah, I think the 29th.
So,
Is that better?
Yeah.
October 29th meeting.
It still leaves, you know, a couple weeks to muddle around.
Yeah. Okay. This is gonna be a long one. Do you want to let everybody know about how the perk test went?
Yes,
Successful.
15 Lincoln was perked on September 12th. And it does appear that a septic system can be designed at this point for a 2-bedroom home. With further clarification, and maybe a higher occupancy rate, and not much higher, you know, like our vote, just a little more, please. We can probably qualify for a 3-bedroom. I have an email with that question out to the fire chief for clarification, based on the Mass General Law, for Assembly Hall, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. There are formulas, and there, I believe, could be some interpretation within those formulas, so we'll see how that works out. There was significant ledge. There was an area of beautiful gravel towards the back on the well side, but we couldn't, there was ledge in between that. You have to have a certain number of holes consecutively, and we couldn't. There was ledge running right through the middle of that. So anyway, the well is not serviceable. It will also need a new well, which should be very doable. I mean, it's just, you know, money, but
We're rolling in that and can't seem to find ways to spend it. So.
yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know if that falls under the Habitat for Humanity umbrella.
Well, Habitat's gonna do most of it. Normally when these are done, like this with the housing
Be in
trust, we
agreement.
would kick in some. We would decide on an amount that we would kick in, that they would use for whatever.
Because they'll have, I mean, they have their connections, right? They'll
Yeah.
have somebody who would drill a well for, you know, not
So
market
that
rate
begs a
and stuff
question.
like that.
Especially, I'm not as well versed on how this is going to function numerically, and that is going to be potentially asked at that public forum. I mean, I would ask that. Like, what is the town contributing?
We haven't decided what we would contribute yet. I have seen in the neighborhood of $25,000.
In
but
addition
I don't
to the
think-
property.
In addition to the property,
Well,
but
that's
I don't think
the-
you
the
have
big-
to. I don't think you have to donate anything. But I think it's
There is
most-
usually seed money.
most do. I mean, this isn't. We're not looking to. I don't know. This is a charitable project. This is a
And
charitable
the
project.
money-
People need to
the money
think about
already
it
exists.
as
There
a
is no-
charitable project.
There is no impact on the taxpayer. Oh, no new impact on the taxpayer.
What is this?
And this
word?
money is allocated for
Wow.
affordable
It's
housing.
1,200 square feet, it's 30 by 40. And I guess that brings up, you know, so what kind of donation is that of the town? It's assessed fairly low, it's a very small parcel. It's like 1/4 of an acre. Where did I say 140,000? Yeah, it's basically assessed, not appraised, assessed at 143,000, and that's depreciating the building, fair quality, et cetera, et cetera. So, once it were to go on the tax roll, you know, it would likely be twice that, or 3 times that. So that helps with generating tax revenue for the town. The septic system will need variances, multiple variances. It's not, where it ended up? It has to, Berlin Board of Health is much more strict on distances between septic systems. They require 100 feet. The state requires, I don't know, a lot less than that. But I think under the heading of affordable, I think there's a lot of leeway there, and I don't, the engineer didn't seem to think that would be a devastating issue. But there will be variances needed, which, you know, that being said, it's not as developable for others if they're, unless they're intending to do it for under the heading of affordable. That's just kind of how it is. In terms of an assembly hall, we're kind of basing the calculation of the flow rate for the septic system based on that occupancy rate for the assembly hall. So I suppose if an organization had the money for the septic system, they could revisit that. I don't know that for a hard fact, but it seems like that would be the converse. I think a nice round number that septic system is going to cost probably $50,000. You know, hitting ledge, hitting groundwater, you know, you're building it up, so you're not, you're making it work, and that's more costly. So those are the
mitigating factors. But it hurt. So yay. I mean, that's
perked.
huge.
I think it would be agreeable that it perked at a 2-bedroom right now, but you know, there's a beautiful floor plan for which I would like to enlarge or have that example, but maybe Carolyn will have that in her file of what she sent around for the 3-bedroom layout of that. I mean,
could also-
and that
you could
behooves the
put
town
it-
to have.
You could put it
a
up on the
3-bedroom
television,
house.
maybe.
Yeah, I don't know how to do that.
You just plug it into, if you have a
Um,
laptop, you can just plug it in.
Is there
There's
the
a, normally
cables
the
over the
I definitely-
HDMI cable
right
is on there,
I do
yeah.
not have a laptop.
I have
Okay.
done it.
You technology-wise, I trust you.
Yes,
Yeah,
I
that
can-
is
I can
definitely
either-
not
I mean,
mine.
Lauren has a laptop
Yeah.
right here, she can do it too.
Yeah,
So.
Yeah.
I can hook up an
Probably has
HDMI
to
or
plug
to plug
stuff.
in
Exactly.
the
I know.
That's
I
fine.
was just saying, you know.
That's
know
the one thing I've
cables
done,
and
like,
technology.
you just plug in that cord and it's like magic.
Yeah.
Turn the television on, plug in the cord.
Just in the right spot. Put the cord in the right spot.
Yeah.
So-
It only fits in
Oh,
the
good.
square. It's probably the other side, it's the
Right.
square
Yeah.
hole.
Right?
See the square one on there?
I think so. Okay.
There's different cables and stuff too, so.
There's just one.
Okay.
cable.
That's gonna be, we're delegating that to you, right? Otherwise,
here.
none of it will happen.
There's nothing here.
Yeah, mine just has like USB ports.
I know I just grabbed a cord last time. Is it here? Here. It's here. Voila.
Does it,
Yep,
is it like
HDMI.
a
HDMI.
HDMI.
It's
So you should bring your
short.
computer.
I have
So-
an adapter. That's what I use.
Got it. Okay.
Is there was a-
yeah, mine.
A recreation meeting tonight at 8. If
cannot.
somebody wants to just catch them beforehand and say, we would really like to come in and talk to you, can you put us on your next agenda?
I can sit here, is there meeting in, is there meeting
It's
here?
227, this is 218, so it's
Tell
down.
me.
227. I can do that. Who
What
will,
time is it?
It's, yeah, it's 7:21.
I can
Yeah,
sit
well-
here for half an hour.
Okay.
I can do-
Um,
I have to go swear in.
No swearing.
Lots of swearing for voter things.
So the basic process for our 15 Lincoln Road is, feasibly, it's on the table now, I guess, with the potential park. Then the town, if voted, would transfer it to the trust. Then
Mhm.
it goes to RFP process.
So
the select board has to.
That's handled by the select board.
Well,
we have to write it for them. I
yeah.
suspect. We have to
We,
figure,
we would have to do legally transfer the property over to the trust.
Does the
we don't.
town have to vote on it?
Yes.
That's what's happening. at the
Not
meeting.
on the,
Okay,
They have
I thought
to
it was
vote-
also on the ballot as well.
No.
Okay.
no.
Great, thank you.
No. Just town meeting.
That was something else that had to be voted
So,
on
yeah.
at town meeting and on the ballot.
But yeah, we would put together the RFP. Kristen would help with the RFP though.
Mm-hmm. And how long a process is that? Like, I guess maybe I have no idea of timeline at this point. Or how, and in writing the RFP,
There are
what
existing
requirements?
there are existing RFPs that we would riff off of. So doing the RFP is not difficult.
We'd want to add language about.
And we
you
just
know,
add in the historical
We'd
bit.
add in the historical bit and talk about, demonstration that the developer can meet these needs and, has an interest in serving veterans and, local residents, we can do that. But
Is there a
it's-
timeline that has to be floated, or is that
We-
arbitrary?
We would get that out as soon as we could feasibly do it, keeping in mind that we are volunteers.
But I
we will
mean,
need town staff time.
like, does it have to be posted for 30 days, or does it take
The
6
RFP
months?
does have to be
or-
posted. It's not 6 months. It's probably more like 30 days.
Yeah, okay.
30, 60 sounds.
But you can look that up too. I think
But
we probably
I don't
have
think
choice,
it's-
but it's
I
not.
mean, the chances of us getting something out, if it were to pass, I don't see us getting something out before January. Right, just with the holidays and.
Yeah, that was
Unless Krista
another
is-
thing we have to think about at our next meeting. By the way, the Wednesdays are
Are the
day
Christmas
before
and New
Thanksgiving
Year's.
and the day before Christmas. So we're probably going to want to adjust those two, but I'm not going to do that tonight. Just keep it in mind.
Mhm.
Yeah. So yes, the select board will have to do an actual legal document to transfer the property to the trust. There will have to be an RFP that is then put out to request bids in. Then the bids will be evaluated. They can be evaluated on a variety of criteria.
And so we evaluate
We
them?
evaluate
or the-
them. We will
we
evaluate. It will be
Because it will be our property. So we don't have to run it anywhere after that?
Nope. Nope.
Okay.
So if there were multiple people who wanted to come in and build an affordable home, which I think would be great, then we would evaluate those.
Right.
If there's only one, then there's not much to evaluate,
To make sure it meets
as
our
long as it
criteria.
meets the criteria. Because you can also say, nope, none of this, go
And
and put it out for longer.
I have no experience with RFPs, so Where
It's
is
just
it
a-
posted?
It's just
Like,
a request for proposal.
do we post it here?
That's,
Or is
that's
it-
all Kristen's wheelhouse.
I'm just wondering what audiences typically have access to.
It goes on the
seeing
town
it.
website.
Yeah.
And then I think there are
Other
other,
groups that will troll
yeah.
those kind of things too.
um, I can find out. I can ask
Yeah.
Kristen for you.
Well, yeah.
But, you know, but we.
I think she's also gonna be at Recreation if you wanted to. Kristen,
Yeah,
I
Kristen,
think.
that's nice. But potentially, you know, CMRPC or,
Mm-hmm.
you know, those groups, like, that's
But
what
there's
Kristen.
nothing that we're required, like, what is our minimum requirement of?
There is a standard process for RFPs. This is not something we make up. This is not something, there is a standard
We don't
process
have
that
to know it.
happens
Kristen takes care of
with
it.
Yeah.
all RFPs out of the town, that it follows all the legal rules.
Okay, got it.
That it has to, it's very, because it has to be, because you have to make it a fair process. If folks have more questions on that, refer them to Kristen. We do not have to know the RFP process inside and out. That's why we have a town administrator.
So if somebody asked me, when would this house potentially come online for somebody? Or get started or whatever?
Years.
That will, you can say that will depend on the RFP process, that will depend on Habitat, or the RFP respondents' timeline.
Yeah. But, you know,
These
this
things
is not
do
a
take time.
not 2026, right?
2027 at the earliest.
How long does it take to construct a house?
It's constructed.
Yeah. So it's really, it's gonna
It's
dep-
weather
Well,
time
well,
right
right,
now.
I'm sorry.
It's
I
going
think
to-
this could come
So
online
it's
pretty
going to, it's
quickly.
going to depend on whoever responds to the
To the
RFP,
basement.
what their timeline is, and all of the things that need to be
Okay.
done. I mean, you're gonna have to, I'm assuming that the septic could not be put in at certain times of year. Is
Well,
that, or
that's
that you
arguable,
probably,
but yeah.
Different-
probably
I
don't
wouldn't
wanna do
want
that in
to.
the middle of winter?
But they do.
Isn't
Yeah.
it?
Yeah,
It's
so
not
we built in the middle of
optimal.
winter.
Yeah.
But
So-
they do.
Is it a Presby system? Like, what did they
I think
talk
it is
about?
going to be raised.
Is a Presby system equal raised? Like, is that?
No.
Okay, we don't have to talk about it. You know far more than I do, and so I'll be like,
No, raised is more like not gravity with a pump. Presby is like a filtration rate scenario, but
dang.
it's probably going to be both.
Oh, that's exciting. I guess.
But I don't know.
Okay, I didn't know if like 'cause
Yeah,
that,
I mean,
was
it
a word that
hasn't
got
been
thrown around a
designed-
bunch.
It hasn't
Okay,
been designed
But they-
whatsoever because we did minimal.
Yeah.
Minimal.
We just wanted to know
Yeah.
if it
Could we
was
do it?
possible.
All right.
Can we do it?
Will water leach there? Is all we know. And where?
I will send you a quick summary of what the RFP process is.
No,
if
I
you want it.
just
Yeah.
I'm just wondering like
Everything that happens in this building takes longer than you think it's going to. Just,
Yeah.
I mean, and folks should know that by now. I mean, the Complete Streets project that we've been dealing with, that started 8 years ago. I don't expect something like this to take that long, but everything in this building takes longer
I
than
guess
you
the
think it's
basis
going
of
to.
my project is when people say we want, a veteran. We want like how much can we tailor this to what we want?
We can say
That's where it
preference.
starts with RFP.
No. That is, I mean, yes, I guess that can go in RFP.
Maybe.
But it's also.
But basically it's going to be
It's going to depend on who applies for the home. So you can state all of those preferences in there, and we will,
right.
but that always goes back to, we can say all the things we want, but those applications aren't necessarily gonna come in. Okay. Anything else that needs to be done for the forum?
So Jen, you'll work on a slider, a like
Flyer.
flyer.
I mean, once we get a
Yeah.
flyer, because we can email our people on Facebook and Berlin Neighbors Connect and those
Yeah.
sorts of
Yeah.
groups.
And we can put it up at 19 Carter and the library and
Post office.
maybe the general store and the post office.
What it could, if I could just have all the information that I need to put on these
We
flyers.
just need the time, which will come
Mhm.
from you once you've confirmed with Carolyn.
Okay.
And we'll use the address.
15 Lincoln.
15
Lincoln.
Yeah.
Street.
Yeah. The town owned.
And I can put the pretty little picture of it on there.
Floor plan?
Right?
Right?
Yeah. Maybe not.
I
Or
don't
just,
know.
Yeah.
Floor
I think
plan?
that
Something that is,
It catches the eye.
yeah, let's, like jazz hands, come on.
Right. I mean, I
You could
guess.
just find a house clip art too.
Okay,
Mhm.
I'll do that.
Yeah, I'm
I'll-
not. I mean, there's a lot of nostalgia with that building.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
Mm.
So yeah, I would just find a house, use happy colors.
Okay. Alright.
Housing Trust Forum to discuss. Note somewhere on there that it's going to be on the warrant again, or that it's going to be a warrant article at town meeting, or something about it being
Discussion of the
vote
warrant
at town
article.
meeting.
Mhm, yeah. Information.
Informational session.
And then I guess will you send it to us and then we'll send
Yes.
you any feedback
Sure.
Yeah.
before?
I can do that. What's the drop dead date on that?
Well, it's the 22nd today, so I would get it out within 2 weeks if you can, right?
Okay. I can work on it this weekend and try to send something to you in a week. How about that?
Perfect.
Yeah, that's great.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So, I think we're good. We're good? All right. Motion to adjourn?
Yes.
All in favor?
Yes.
Aye.